shadows while we're doing the most. No looking back now, cause the clock is on the run. We only need to feel when the battle is done. Light up the spectrum, let the colors fly high. We're reaching for the glory in the digital sky. Electric momentum in the heat of the game. They're gonna scream the anthem and remember the name. From the red to the blue, feel the power collide. There ain't no place for the weary to hide. Light up the spectrum, let the colors fly high. We're reaching for the glory till we touch the sky. Till we touch the sky.
Hey, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Spectrum Podcast. I'm TG. This is my co-host, James. James, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. It's a lot going on. Just feeling nostalgic. Good summer. What's going on, GTG? As you guys know, her birthday was last weekend. Woo!
Yeah.
It was a turn up
I'm
time.
doing really, really well.
Yes.
And I see my computer decides it wants to try me again. But anyways, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking all about the NBA today, guys. It's all going to be about the NBA draft, as well as the NBA free agency market and the trades that have been going on, because there's so much news to be talked about regarding it, and a bunch of stuff that has been going on. So let's start with the NBA draft, because for once, the NBA draft, it seems like NBA teams actually made common sense drafts for the first time in a while. Like, ain't that crazy?
Yeah, it was really a stacked draft between AJ, Devonson, and Darren Peterson going number one. Who was going to go number one in that draft? Washington made a good choice, and AJ Devonson, I feel like. Darren Peterson went number 2 to Utah. Cameron Boozer went number 3. In a draft where people believe that he should have been a lot higher. The Chicago Bulls made an incredible pick in Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. And I love their pick. I think they have something really going there with Caleb Wilson, and he's really excited to join the team. Michigan Wolverine champion Yaxel goes to Golden State Warriors. And his teammate goes to OKC. So OKC gets another big man over 7 feet tall to join Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. So let's see how that's going to work out for them. But it was a really good draft. I think every single team got what they needed. I don't think any team got less than what they needed. Dallas picked up another Michigan Wolverine superstar. As we all know, the Michigan Wolverines coach is now going to be the new Dallas head coach, and then the interim assistant coach is now going to be turning in for Michigan and becoming the new head coach for the Michigan Wolverines this season. A lot of interesting things have been going around, especially when it comes to coaching. So I think it all worked out for a lot of teams. Koa Pete, great in Arizona, didn't get a lot of. I feel like he was looked at, but not as much as when he first came into college. But gets drafted, goes to the New York Knicks, the defending champions. So great for him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've enjoyed the draft, and I said for once you guys actually made drafts the most sense out of anything. One of the drafts I actually do want to say is the Houston Rockets made a great pick with Bruce Thornton to be their point guard, and I think that was probably the best thing for them to do because they did need a point guard after Flan Van Vliet's injury. They really did need a backup point guard. So
Yeah, I think Houston getting a guard solves the problem of having someone that can definitely fill in. So I appreciate them for making that choice. They needed to. I think a lot of teams got what they could. I think a lot of teams picked good places. Darren Cuff Jr. went to Sacramento Kings, a great guard. To most likely replace De'Aaron Fox, who they've been struggling to get a guard in for, and who people feel that he should have been a lot higher in this draft. Some people believe he should have went over Keenan Wagner, who went number 5 to the Los Angeles Clippers, who was also a great point guard for Illinois. But I think they got a steal. I think they got exactly what they needed, especially when it comes to guard play. I want to, and Summer League has just started. Well, officially will start next week. And a lot of these, we were seeing a lot of these rookies play. And
yeah, guys, Sorry, it's like something has been going on my thing for some reason. Come on, James.
Yeah. No. You don't know how Wi-Fi is these days.
Yeah.
It's
Really
minus.
the internet. It's not even the Wi-Fi, it's the
Yeah.
internet itself. You keep going, James. I'm still here. It's just that just keep going.
No. And as we were talking about, Nate Mint going to Miami. Uh, Darren Swain, another guard from Texas, heading to Chicago. Um, I think I think Charlotte made some really good moves. I think Houston got some really good picks late that I think can help them in their championship push for next season. I think Minnesota did good getting a forward as well. I think these are smart moves. Now, the move I think was a little interesting to me was 80 Mora going to Oklahoma City. I think that was a really interesting move. I think that OKC didn't need another center. And I know he's not like the Chet Holmgren replacement. I don't think that, but I don't think that where they are, they needed a center. I think they could have did better of getting a guard or maybe a forward, somebody to help out Jalen Williams and maybe to back up Lou Dort off the coming off the bench. I didn't think a center was really what they needed. I don't feel like that
Hmm.
was fixing the problem. But I also think that they took what was best available for them and also having that backup because this also puts in the conversation with Isaiah Hartenstein coming back next season. And if he's not, can we just go through with Eddie Mara? Um, Another big one, Yaxel Lundberg going to Golden State. And I think for what they need, he is putting Golden State in a win now position. If Golden State is trying to win now, trying to get back to the playoffs, he does that. I think he's a great forward for them, especially helping out from playing either the three or the four. When especially when you got a guy like Draymond Green that you can back up, I think that works for them. Mares Johnson Jr., another great forward that's heading to Dallas. As we said, I think he's definitely helpful coming off the bench, especially for to replace like PJ or for whatever the case is. If Cooper Flag is going to start at point guard next year, or if we're going to go with him back at small forward and Kyrie Irving is going to go back to point, or what's going to happen with Dallas. But I think that's a good good pick for a team that is still building their bench out. So I think that works for them.
Oh, it definitely does. And to be quite honest, I would say that for Golden State, they really did need this draft because since Klay Thompson, as we all know, they traded him. He was getting older. It's the same thing with Steph Curry and Dre. Those guys aren't going to be there for long. So you
Yeah,
got to start looking to the future to fix them entirely. Now, there was talk about LeBron possibly signing with them. I'm like, I hope Golden State's not that stupid. Like, look, if this was LeBron in his prime years, yeah, this might be something to be talking about. But you're talking about signing someone who's way past his prime at this point, buddy. Like, no, not now, not now. Like, we can't be having the old guys right now. I like LeBron. Even if some people do hate him, I like him just because I don't like the fact he calls himself the GOAT because I think that's just complete stupid. I'm
mm,
not gonna lie, like you should never do that because that's what makes people say you're not the GOAT.
mm,
The all-time greats, people who are the greatest, never call themselves the GOATs. They
yeah,
never do. They never do. So like LeBron's got to quit doing that. If he wants people to call him the GOAT, put it on the court every day.
yeah,
Just do that. People will call you that if you quit running your mouth and keep a sock in your mouth because you're a good basketball player. And look, I think you would have had more support had you not been putting your foot in your mouth all the time. Now, that's not his fault. That's the fault of the media who's hyping him up like crazy. If we're being quite honest with ourselves here, it's just truthfulness, like whether people want to admit it or not.
yeah.
It is. Like the media kept hyping him up a little too much. And look, I get it. LeBron was a great player coming out of high school, but
The chosen one,
yeah,
LeBron Ramon James.
yeah. So like he was a great player coming out of high school. People cannot
But
deny that. But it's like when you start over fluffing, y'all gotta calm it down. But for LeBron, you have to learn how to play this game right, which is if you want people to recognize you, you gotta play it down and say, guys, I'm a great player, but I got things I need to do. I don't consider myself a chosen one. I don't consider myself this, and this. I'm just gonna be the best I can, the best possible player I can for my team, and try to help my team get as far as we possibly can. I can admit to that. Like that's what you should have done. But again, that's what's giving you that is what's giving you the kind of where people are saying, "Oh no, he's not the GOAT." Like, look, I love him, but I think I'm taking Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant over him before I even decide otherwise.
I, I I can I can attest to that. I think Michael Jordan was always going to be um, the greatest basketball player of all time. I think
And
LeBron.
he is. I mean, look at how
Yeah,
he
no,
changed the sport.
I
That's
think.
what you need to do.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument for both for the LeBron fans out there. Not trying to downplay LeBron. I think you make a conversation for both. I don't think that
You
champ.
can even make a conversation for Kobe Bryant.
Yes, and that's what I always try to throw in there because it's like Kobe was one of the top best guards in the NBA. And I
Hmm.
think, and you know why I think that Kobe isn't talked about enough is because during the rise of LeBron, Kobe was on kind of the Lakers weren't winning a lot of games compared to what LeBron was doing.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the conversation of Kobe being one of the top greats isn't always in there because of that transitional rise of LeBron.
I wouldn't put that on Kobe though, because the
No.
problem is like because when people try to put that on Kobe, I'm like, guys, the Lakers really didn't even try with him
Yeah,
anymore. After
the
Shaq, they didn't even try to help him in any way.
yeah. After Shaq left, it took some years before the Lakers started to become relevant again. And Kobe was kind of just there scoring, doing his thing, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
he was carrying them as much. It's like
Yeah.
LeBron with the Cavaliers, where like you're doing everything you can, you're putting this team on your back, but it's like at some point they got to help you.
Yeah. So I think that's where I saw it. That's where I think that team was. So, but you can definitely make the argument. I think Kobe Bryant during a certain amount of years, especially back in like 2000s all the way to 10, he was the dominant guy and he was definitely winning. But like even when the even when the OKC made it to their last playoff appearance before they won the championship, they they knocked out you knock out Kobe out the playoffs, and then you lose. Then we see LeBron win his first championship against OKC, and then you see him beat the Spurs, and then he leaves
Yeah,
and goes back to Cleveland. So he stays on this pivotal rise. Even during his Lakers time, he wins a championship back in 2020, and then from there it's the same conversations of that team. Can we be better? Can we be a playoff team? Can we be a finals team again? And now LeBron gets to choose and make his own decision. LeBron gets to go to a contending team that could have a finals hope. And it
yeah.
looks like it might be back in the Eastern Conference if he really sees
Could be the
himself.
Cavs. Could
Be the
be any
Cavs.
of them teams. And like I said, there was talking him joining the Warriors. We'll see. But I'm like, and here's the thing: when people are mad, like obviously Cavs fans were mad that he left. But if I was LeBron, I would say this for Cavs fans:
Yeah.
I'm not leaving you guys because I want to. I'm leaving you guys so I can learn how to win. Because if I'm gonna win a championship period, the Cavs,
Yeah.
I gotta leave to figure out what it takes to make a champion, what it takes to carry a team to the NBA Finals, what it takes to win a playoff. If he had done that and told Cavs fans that he will be back after his time in Miami, however long that takes, because even if he wins his first championship, he won't be coming back immediately. Like he's got to
Yeah.
learn how to do it more consistently as a course. So if he had done that, he probably could have got a lot of favor with because like I said, there was a way that LeBron could have played the game that could have made him seem like one of the all-time greats without people constantly pouncing on him. It's just that he kept putting his foot in his mouth. So he needs to learn how to play that game better. And he's still doing it now.
Yeah.
So look, I'm not gonna lie. When I look at what's going on in with the NBA draft, and as we're pretty much talking to NBA free agency, there's been a lot of movement. Teams have been making correct decisions. Now, again, given the fact that we talk about how LeBron could be leaving or staying with the Lakers, either or in free agency,
Yeah.
my question is: are teams doing what they need to do in free agency to get the best possible players? That's my question.
Yeah.
That's my question because some of these teams will go out of their way, as we've seen, to pay players in free agency they have no business paying whatsoever. And for any team that takes LeBron, I need you to be mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Be mindful because if you're going to take LeBron, you need to be mindful of what's going on. You need to be mindful of who of the team you have, and does he fit your ability to go win a championship? Because if he doesn't, that really wouldn't be smart. And if you ain't got the team to make sure that happens, that definitely is not smart to be signing him right now. So you better be wary. And given the free agency news, like the Rockets, the Clippers,
Yeah.
and plenty of other teams have been making waves in the have been making waves in in free agency. So you want to talk about that real quick?
Oh yeah, we got to talk about the youth from the six.
Yep.
We gotta talk about the one and done guy, Kawhi Leonard. I'm a fun guy. You
Oh,
know.
that's trade news, my buddy. Because matter of fact, we could talk
Oh,
about that free agency and trade news.
oh,
Let's
real
talk
free
about
agency.
it.
Oh well, free agency news. For okay, you know what? I'm gonna start free agency news. So as we all know, we first want to talk about. I agree with you. I think you don't want to have go LeBron to go to a team where he's the number one guy. You want to definitely have him play with a superstar that can hold his own and where LeBron can average his low 15 points and that helps you guys win.
Hmm.
I think this free agency has been very interesting from a lot of places. The Lakers, we're told by LeBron that he's not coming back, and Rob Pelinka went into free agency mode. He signed, he spent about $212 million in under 12 minutes. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy to watch. But in his mind, that's what that needed to happen. And he made some splashes that he thought would make sense. He traded DeAndre Ayton to the Washington Wizards for Jaden Hardy because they signed Walker Kessler, traded for him, got him. They got Colin Sexton off a 2-year deal worth 19 million. They got a forward off 4 years for 52 million. You signed Quentin Grimes to a big deal for 4 years of $60 million. Don't know where all this cap space money came from, but they made it work. The Knicks do lose Mitchell Robinson in free agency to the Boston Celtics off a 3-year deal for $47.4 million, which I do feel that hurt them
Yes.
if they're trying to make a run back to the championship. Losing Mitchell Robinson does hurt you guys. Kelly Oubre signs for a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Indiana Pacers. Tobias Harris goes to the San Antonio Spurs for 2 years, $31 million. I think this is a great deal for San Antonio. You get a forward that helps you out if you guys want to move from Champagne or work that out in your own time. Especially, he can also start at the three if you want to move Devin Vassell to the bench and have him become a six man.
Hmm.
Marcus Smart agreed to a 2-year deal to go to the Houston Rockets. Another guard to help out Fred VanVleet because we still don't know what Fred VanVleet's timeline looks like. We don't know if he's going to be ready for the
We
season
don't.
when the season starts. So that's a good move for them. Mike Conley signs a 1-year deal with the Boston Celtics. That's a good deal. Vucevic goes back to Orlando. Goes back to the Magic on a
Hmm.
1-year deal, 3.9 mil. That's a great deal for them. You guys get who was at one point your franchise player, so you guys get him back.
Yep.
I think so far, I think teams have been making smart moves to involve guys that they need. Tari Eason, who's going to be returning to the Rockets off of a really 5-year, $81.5 million deal. So I think the Rockets are trying to go all in on their guys, which is a really good thing to do.
Yeah. It's not just him. You actually do have you have who signed from the Boston Celtics. You have Bojan Bojanovic, the veteran sharpshooter from the Clippers.
Mhm.
You also have a couple other moves with Dorian Finney and someone else they had signed as well. Let me see. Who
Well,
was
yeah.
it?
So Dorian Finney-Smith, it was traded to the Charlotte Hornets. I think they would receive some guys back, which was Bogdanovic. So I think you're creating some space. Andre Drummond also signed a 1-year deal to go to the New York Knicks to
Yeah.
as a replacement for the Mitchell Robinson. Uh, I think they're starting to get the idea they need to make happen. I it's fun to watch. It's interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The free agency market in the NBA has been going crazy lately, especially with now you got people moving around. You got big trade news that's been going on, which we will get into soon. We'll get
Yeah.
into it after commercial break. But um, free agency, with all the movement that's been done, I'm just very interested to see where some of these players. Like I said, I am interested to see if LeBron does end up if he stays with the Lakers or goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
Um, is there any other players that we know that are free agency that are still in free agency, still for new teams?
Yeah, it's a lot of we've been hearing a lot of rumors. It's been a lot of stuff going on. It's been a really high free agency. As we know, Norman Powell. I just want to also say this: Norman Powell signed a 2-year deal, $45 million deal with the Chicago Bulls to come in as a new forward for them. So that's a big deal for Chicago, especially with a guy like Caleb Wilson. You guys can definitely do some building around there. Um, I think we are in a right now. A lot of teams are still trying to figure out what they need. Jonathan Kaminga has declined his player option, so he's also a free agent. So that's a big deal. He's going to be really big on somebody's list. A young guy, a really great talent. Bradley Beal is also a free agent. If you want to bring some veteranship, he can still play to an extent. So if you really want him, Zach Levine also is going to be. DeMar DeRozan is also going to be a free agent this season. So he also opted out of his player option.
Hmm.
So that's going to be somebody to definitely look for and see how that's going to roll for them during the free
See, now
agency.
that's an intriguing one. What team was he on previously?
You
It's hard for me
he
to
was
keep
on the
up.
Sacramento Kings. So they were
Okay,
yeah, the Sacramento Kings.
so I'm interested to see what team gets him now. 'Cause, like, he is still
Yeah.
a player.
Definitely some a veteran leadership role for him. Uh DeMar DeRozan can still play. I think he's always going to be the great mid-range shooter that he is. So to get on a team that can you definitely use him coming off the bench, definitely can get some quick points from him, and he still plays some pretty good defense. I think that you can. That's a good move for you guys. That's a good move. I think it's a lot of good moves still. Uh, that can still be made. So we'll see. I know Austin Reeves was on a big list for everybody, and then he re-signed with the Lakers in a very, I guess you can say, shocking move. Jalen Duren from the Detroit Pistons. There's still some talk about him signing with another team, but Detroit stated that they're going to match any offer that he receives to bring him back to Detroit. So we're going to see how that plays out, if anything, because he has still not signed with Detroit or any team for that matter. He's still taking meetings, so he's trying to test his luck. Ben Simmons has also talked about making an NBA return and coming back and joining the 76ers at some point. If
Then
they
he better have learned how to shoot.
he better learn how not to pass that ball and take that layup. So I need him to learn. Come on, Ben. So it's this is a big free agency for a lot of teams that are especially looking to make some runs. I think Indiana is trying to gear up, especially because Tyrese Halliburton most likely will be coming back this season, and they have a chance to get back to the finals. They have a chance to get back to the playoffs even. So I want to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Fernie Simons, who was a Chicago Bull, is signing a 2-year, $12.3 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers, probably most likely to pack up Tyrese Maxey, which is a great deal for him. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. It's a lot of moves that are still being made right now. Free agency just opened up a couple days ago, and everybody is trying to get to where they fit in. I think Minnesota has made a lot of deals. We're going to talk about some of the trades that they made, and where that leaves them now. So
Yep.
we got a show for you guys. We got a show for you guys.
Yes. So, guys, commercial break. We will come back and talk about all the trades that have been going on in all of the NBA. Shout out to the 44 people watching live right now. The 42 on X. We have one watching on Facebook. I mean, not there, but we got two. We did have 6 people watching on YouTube. But where you people out on YouTube? Come check out the show so you guys can actually help us out. Get out there, like, subscribe. Come on, guys. We still got like, where are my YouTube people at?
Yeah,
And
come on. Yeah,
yeah,
you
come on,
guys,
guys.
you guys can also
But
join in, man. If you guys feel like you're paying people, Rui Hachimura, yes, he's still a free agent. Draymond Green is also a free agent. Benedict Mathurin, Jonathan Kuminga, of course. Jordan Clarkson, sharpshooter, just won with the Knicks, but I'm most likely he's going to definitely come back. But yeah, James Harden is also a free agent. He took a pay cut. He's waiting for the Cavs to figure out what they want to do to bring in a superstar, and then he's going to take his money, which is going to be significantly low.
yeah,
So, uh, let's see what happens. Rui Hachimura was a great player for the Los Angeles Lakers, but a lot of teams are definitely gonna be looking at him. Well, will we come back? We could see him going to another team for sure.
Yeah, guys. Now we'll be coming back soon. Stay tuned. Hey guys, if you made it to this part of the video, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button to help our algorithm get out there to more people to watch the Spectrum podcast. Thanks, guys. Now let's get back to the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spectrum Podcast. We're about to talk about some more news. Now, I will tell you guys there's been some recent news that's come about when it comes to free agency signings. Josh Okogie to the Jazz, Andre Drummond to the Knicks, Jordan Miller to the Clippers, Trey Lyles to the Wolves, and Dean Wade to the 76ers, as well as John Collins to the Pistons, Norman Powell to the Bulls, and Mitchell Robinson to the Celtics. Those guys have all been signed to different teams, and the one that shocked me the most is Mitchell Robinson going to the Celtics. I figured he stayed with the Knicks from his championship run. You would think, right?
Here's what I think with the Mitchell Robinson situation that puts them Boston in a really good position now. From a defensive standpoint, Mitchell Robinson was so important to that Knicks team, and I was expecting to offer him a really big deal. I think Mitchell enjoyed the Knicks, but I also feel like Mitchell wanted to see what was it like on the other side of being on another team. And to go to the Boston Celtics, you're still going to a great team with JT and a bunch of different guys, Derek White, Pritchard, a lot of great shooters. But now you become the main guy. I think Mitchell's thing was he wanted to be the main center on somebody's team. and he knew he couldn't do that in New York because Carl Anthony Towns, hashtag shout out to Cat, was the guy. So I think he wanted a bigger role compared to what he was getting in New York. But yes, I think
Absolutely.
it's surprising. I think it was a surprising move. I definitely thought that New York was going to try to keep that playoff team together. Everybody would be coming back. But as we see, sometimes opportunity speaks for themselves, and Mitchell Robinson saw an opportunity.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, if we talk about it more, I see another situation regarding the LeBron situation, which is he had told the Lakers he will not return in 2026 and 2027. He will be
Yeah.
exploring options. And apparently those options are with the Knicks, the Sixers, the Celtics, obviously the Golden State Warriors, as we talked about,
Yes.
Cavaliers, and other teams that are in the mix as well.
Yes, I was also told Minnesota is also going to on that list as well. Miami, I guess him and Pat Riley had a falling out, but that has been squashed, and there's a conversation that they could be joining back up and teaming back up. He could be getting his coach back, and Eric Spoelstra, who has turned into one of the best coaches minds in the NBA. So it's a lot of opportunities. It's also been told that he has not decided where he's going to go. He's going to take his time. He's going to listen to every single team and everybody's offer. It was also told that he is open taking a minimum contract. He will take a veterans minimum to play on a contenders team. So we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. We're gonna see how this is gonna play out.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, like we told you guys after we got off the break, we're coming into the trade news. As a matter of fact, the biggest trade news, the one that had broke long before any of them, Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Miami Heat. You would have thought Giannis would be a lifelong Buck. Instead, he gets traded to the Heat. Um, Now, here's the funny thing. The Miami Heat, people make it sound like as if they traded their whole team. They only traded about 4 players.
Yeah, but they traded my guy. They traded my guy Henry Hawkins. I saw him as a Miami Heater. I saw him as like your most improved player that was going to definitely be top guy. We already knew Tyler Hero was going to be involved in this trade. We knew that it was going to be definitely Tyler Hero was leaving. They gave up some picks. I think they gave up enough to where a rebuild situation has to happen. But they have a lot of money. They have a lot of cap space money. As we know, Norman Powell signed with the Bulls, so that's money that's off your books. You're. I'm not gonna say everybody was gone, but your bench is kind of more now depleted. And so there's some conversations that have to be had. You still got Donovan Mitchell, who's an incredible guard, great defender. I think his shooting ability has to get a little bit better, but you still got a great guy that can play the game the right way. Giannis wanted to come here. He wanted to come to Miami. He's been wanting to come here for a long time. He's been talking about it. It finally happens. He finally gets his moment of being in the spotlight in Miami. The bright light, the beautiful cities. He talked about. He said, I don't want to play for the Bucks, but I don't want to leave Milwaukee. But he's leaving both. He's leaving both.
Yeah, he is. And I'm not gonna lie, this trade, I guess, is for the betterment of him as a player, so this way he can find somewhere where they will build around him. And look, I trust the fact Miami will build their team up
Yeah,
because they've always shown the ability to do that, especially with Eric Spoelstra as
yeah.
their coach.
Pat Riley is an incredible owner. He's gonna definitely make some stuff happen. You have nothing to worry about. When it comes to Miami Heat, they're gonna make their moves. They're gonna get their guys in, and they're gonna make some stuff happen.
Mhm. So, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna be. I'm gonna tell you, if this was any other franchise, I might look at them sour. But because this is Miami Heat, and given how great of a GM that that has, that has been, given how great of a coach Spoelstra has been, I won't doubt it. I think they'll probably find to pretty much rebuild around Giannis in the best possible way,
Yeah,
better than the Bucks did. Now, the other trade that we talk about is Jalen Brown to the Sixers for Paul George and picks. So the picks that come with it is a 2028 first round pick the Philadelphia 76ers give to the Celtics along with a 2031 first round pick and multiple second round picks as
yeah,
well. I never think I'm not gonna lie, this trade did surprise me with the Celtics. Now again, I it was rumored to be a thing that was talked about, but I was like, There ain't no way they're gonna break up the duo of Jason Tatum and Jalen Brunson. I mean, the duo that ended up helping them win an NBA championship, right? You would think that. No, like they did it anyway. So you tell
Um,
me how you feel about this news.
I want when the news drops, and I don't, and this is no offense to any team that the Boston Celtics made the dumbest trade I've ever seen. I'm I'm so sorry to tell you get a guy like Paul George who barely played the last couple of years he had in Philadelphia, who has barely been as a threat of any team. This is like and since the Clippers days. You trade him. Really, you trade your best player, your finals MVP, because you now have the believance that Jason Tatum is the greatest player that's ever going to be in a Boston Celtics jersey. And you're like, we're going to go 100% in you. Now, we can also talk about the fact that Jalen Brown and the Boston Celtics and the from the GMs and the owner from like main office that they haven't seen eye to eye on things and they've not been on the same accord, and they don't like certain things that Jalen Brown's been saying about them, so you trade him away. There was a conversation that he was going to be a part of the Boston Celtic trade, and then there was another conversation that he was going to be a part of a Minnesota Timberwolves trade. But to finally trade him to a team, first, this puts Philadelphia in a playoff conversation. They have the chance to win the Eastern Conference and go to the finals with Jalen Brown at the helm, with Tyrese Maxey, with a VJ Edgecombe going into his sophomore year, who had an incredible rookie season, with a Joel Embiid that can still play. You have put them in the best possible place to be a threat. And then you kept them in your division, which means you're going to see them. You're going to see the Philadelphia 76ers a couple of times this season. I don't I don't like this deal for Boston. I love this deal for Philadelphia. You literally gave up nothing and got a superstar. You gave up nothing and you got a Finals MVP guy that's going to come in and teach the guys that need to be taught things, and he's going to make everybody's worthwhile. He's going to do what he has to do. Jason Tatum, guess what? You have to now show that you're going to be the guy. You got to be the guy in Boston. Now they're giving you the keys. You got to know how to handle it. But it doesn't help that we're giving you Paul George, who's if no offense to Paul George, but who averaged 17 points last season off of I don't know how many games. He missed a lot. Who is going to be 37 going into next season? I don't know.
I like Paul, but he's been too much of a playoff P for me. So, you know. That's my thing is he's been too much a playoff P. So
Yeah.
until he gets that fixed, we'll have to have a
And
conversation.
pandemic P has been showing. Podcast P has been definitely showing up. So I want to see how this is going to work. I think Philadelphia is in a great position. I think Philadelphia is doing exactly what they need to do. I think they're giving Nick Nurse all the pieces he needs to be the guy that can lead a franchise. So I think Philadelphia comes out on top. I think Philadelphia comes out as the best team in this trade, and I think Boston has to now re-look at what they can do. So let's. This is interesting.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know, I'm not gonna lie. This was the. I thought to myself that this was the single dumbest trade they could have possibly pulled off. Um, but you know, whatever this, you know, again, whatever is done whatever is done is done. It is what it is. Now, apparently, we also have another trade that happened with DeAndre Ayton
Yes.
to the Wizards for Jaden Hardy and picks. The Lakers sent him to the Wizards for a package that includes him and that includes Jaden Hardy and two future second round picks. Tell me, what do you think of this trade the Lakers made?
I think this was a simple trade. Um, it got a guy like DeAndre Ayton off your books, who I don't think also could have been a great center for you coming off the bench. especially when Jackson Hayes is not is still up for discussion of not returning to the Lakers. So I think they did what they thought that made sense. I think you guys get a great point guard in Jaden Hardy to back up Luka Doncic and to help you coming off the bench. Um, with Bronny James and whoever else is running that bench unit for you guys. I think it's a simple. I think it's really simple. We already knew that DeAndre Ayton was a stain on the Lakers, especially when you guys get a guy like Walker Kessler to come in and be your starting center. The 24-year-old kid who's 7 foot that can play, shoot the three a little bit, but is a great defender. I think it's a perfect deal for you guys. So I think it's a simple one. I think it was a no brainer for them. I was expecting the game to get a little bit more, maybe getting maybe a first out of them compared to 2 seconds, but also, I don't complain about the deal. I think this is a good deal for the Lakers. Um, quick deal, makes it interesting. But I think this also gives Washington some firepower. Like we already know, you guys get AJ DeBonsta. Trey Young is staying there. Anthony Davis, as of right now, is not in any trade conversation, so he was going to be staying there. Alexander Sarr is there, so now you got Alexander Sarr, DeAndre Ayton, Anthony Davis. Trey Mann is still on this team. So I think there's Washington's making some moves. Slowly but surely, Washington is making some moves. Can they be a playoff team this year? I see them as a playing team. And I think that's where Washington at least gets to be back in the playoff conversation. I think that's what we all wanted.
Oh, absolutely. And if you ask me, I would say that for the Wizards, this was pretty. For the Wizards, you can say this is a rebuild move. And the Lakers,
Yeah.
you definitely needed to get, and you definitely needed to get him off your books because look, I like DeAndre Ayton, the man had potential, but it's like, God damn it, dude, you had so much potential
Yeah.
and you wasted it like no tomorrow. So at the end of the day, I think it was a smart move for them to do this. Now, when we're talking about the next trade, because this one happens to be the second biggest, Kawhi Leonard going back to the Toronto Raptors. I never thought I'd see the day this man would go back to Toronto. Like, I figured he'd trade at some point, but Toronto? Bro, you want to leave from there, and now you go back? What?
So, he wasn't playing those trees. I want to say that. He wasn't playing those trees, man. I don't. And that I know that doesn't play a part in this. I don't think him trading, going to another team takes away from that. But he wanted to play somewhere that he felt comfortable. It was between San Antonio, it was between the Toronto Raptors. And Toronto looked at him as a piece for this team that he was so comfortable being a part of. And I think this puts Toronto in a great position. You got Kawhi and Scotty Barnes. I think a credible duo of a one and a two punch. From a defensive side and from offensive side, I think you still get a guy like RJ, great defensive player. I think you still get Emmanuel quickly, an incredible guard. Brandon Ingram, of course, is going to be going to the LA Clippers to run the team how he sees fit and to do his own thing. He gets to be closer to Gorilla, so that's probably cool. That's cool for him. Um, the Drake gets his guy. He gets the views. You know, he was talking about him at National Treasure. Kawhi heard National Treasure and said, "I got to go back. I got to help these guys." Um, like we were talking about, this is the guy that went to Toronto and he wasn't supposed to be in Toronto. He had no intention of going
Nope.
to Toronto. He wanted to go to LA. He wanted to get the sandy beaches and the sunny shores. And they traded him to Toronto anyway because they thought he wasn't going to do anything there. And in his only year as a Toronto Raptor, wins them a championship, wins Finals MVP, wins them the division, and leaves. And and it's also been told to he's going to be signing an extension. He will be retiring as a Toronto Raptor. His career ends in Toronto. I think this is a great deal for Toronto. I think they still get a great guy in Kawhi for the next couple of years, who is still in a good peak time that can still play good. I think if you build the right guys around him and you get him some extra help, I think you guys can be a finals team again and get one more.
Yep. The latest trade that we have is John Morant, to the uh, who went to the Portland Trailblazers, and LaMelo Ball, who went Of all the things I would have seen, I never thought that those two would be. I never thought that would happen. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you put two YNs on the team. One that drives too fast, one that doesn't care about what he says. So I think it's gonna make for incredible basketball. I think we're getting incredible basketball with LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards on the court
Yep.
together. Uh,
Absolutely.
the John Morant move was very surprising, but this also helps me understand. I think a lot of people were saying how Drew Holiday will be coming off the bench. I think Ja comes off the bench. I think you have your point guard for your bench. I
Yep.
don't trust John Morant, and John Morant has to earn my trust. He has to earn Portland's trust. I think Damian Leonard coming back next season puts a lot in perspective. I think Drew Holiday has shown how good he is. DG Vedoct, great player, great forward for the Portland Trailblazers. I think Ja comes off of the bench and helps them when it matters. I think you put the team's hands in Dame and everybody else. Donovan Clingan, incredible center. I think Portland's
Hmm.
building something definitely strong in Portland. So I'm excited to see how this all plays out for them. But
I
it's a good move. It's a good move. I'm not gonna say it's a bad move. You really didn't give up anything. You really guys didn't really give up a lot. Um, and I felt like it was an even base trade. So you guys get Ja that is turning into the superstar that we hopefully he can be. And now this gives him a chance to take a step back and not be so focused on everything else. And there's nothing really to do in Portland. So you get to focus on basketball.
Oh, absolutely. And then the only other trade that happened, you have the Kings who did send Devin Carter to the Hawks, which
Yeah.
that is a Atlanta acquired Carter's 3 year acquired them with a in a 3-team deal with the Kings and the Magic. So obviously, you know, some had to be played there. And the Magic, Wizard, and Bucks all swapped picks. So
Yeah.
so hey, those some good trade moves that were being made, and I don't know how many picks, what type of picks they were. They don't specify it, but hey, these are good moves you could say for these teams, especially when it comes to picking what could help your team survive later on. So I'm not gonna lie. 60 people watching right now, and shout out to all of you. Make sure you guys go down in the store below to buy the TG the Wolverine Slayer merch to help out the Spectrum Podcast. And note that there will be a Spectrum Podcast merchandise out soon. Just gonna have to wait on it. But that's the end of all the trade news that we have so far. There might be more that comes out later on, but hey, I'm not gonna lie. This trade cycle has been crazy, has it not, James?
Yeah, it has been. It's been crazy. Shams Suriani has been on it. You gotta respect Shams. It's been incredible Shams work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think teams are loading up. Seeing what we saw last season against two great teams in the Spurs and the Knicks, two teams that we didn't expect to be here and that have shocked people of how good they were this season. I think they got better. I think teams are getting better. I think teams are seeing what can happen, what can't happen. I think LeBron right now was the sweepstakes. I think Jonathan Kuminga is a great sweepstakes player as well. I think he showed himself out in Atlanta. In the right system, he can play great. I think free agency is open. Jalen Durant, another great power forward slash center that can be incredible for somebody's team if they can get him out of Detroit. And if they can get him out of Detroit,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
And well, I mean, when you look at Detroit, they are a good basketball team who
Yes, they
went
are.
all the way to the semifinals. So yeah, you never know.
Number
But
one seed, they couldn't get it done.
all right, yeah. So that's the end of the show. James, do you have any other final thoughts?
Uh, Stay frosty, my friends. If you're watching the FIFA World Cup, shout out Team USA. Team USA is going crazy. Happy to see it.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, make sure you guys follow James on his Instagram, and you have Facebook as well, don't you, James?
Yes, I do. It's
Yeah,
fine.
so make sure you guys follow him there on here. And you guys can see all my social links on the banner down below. You can follow me on Facebook as Tierra GI Sports,
Hmm.
on Twitch as Tierra, or not Tierra, but TG Spectrum Sports. Well, it's sport without the S, but I'm gonna put the S on there because for some reason the thing just tended to be typo, so I'll fix that. and you guys can follow me there. You guys can also follow me on X as at TG Spell Imp 71413 on X. You guys can also follow me as just typing in TG, but you guys can also subscribe. If you guys want to follow the Spectrum Podcast, you guys can find it by typing it in the search bar, Spectrum Podcast at Spectrum Podcast TG. That's how you guys are going to be able to find it moving forward if you guys wish to. And, thank you guys for tuning in. We'd love to see you guys more. And in the meantime, on the next episode, we'll pretty much be talking more about some recent events that have been happening in both the NFL and football. As, for instance, Ohio State making the Andy Howell hire, which I'm not going to lie, it's a great hire for them. And we'll talk about how it affects college football. We'll also talk about how some of the college act, because it sounds like either that act will be enforced within months or it will be enforced by next year. We'll talk about how it affects college sports and more. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys out. Thanks for tuning in to the Spectrum Podcast. If you guys haven't already, hit that like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you guys never miss an episode of the Spectrum. But also put a comment down in the comment section down below to help us get our algorithm out there to more people, so that way more people could tune into the Spectrum Podcast. At the end of the day, we thank you guys for tuning in and expect more shows coming from the Spectrum Podcast. All right, guys. Again, thank you.
Walking through the neon in the middle of the night, every color hidden different in the pale moonlight. I see the violet bleeding into shades of deepest blue, a prismatic vision of a world that's feeling new. My heartbeat is syncing with the flashing of the signs, tracing out the movement of these geometric lines. From the infrared heat to the ultraviolet glow, I'm catching every frequency, I'm moving with the flow. There's a rhythm in the static, there's a logic in the noise, finding my direction through the balance and the poise. It's that spectrum vibe, yeah, we're living in the light, breaking through the prism, shining beautiful and bright. From the shadows to the summit, every color has a name. In the spectrum of the spirit, no two souls are quite the same. Yeah, we're riding on the wave, caught inside the golden hue. Spectrum vibes are calling out to me and calling